Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, oh, welcome. My name is SJ. I'm an adult doll and toy collector who just wants to talk about dolls and toys. And this channel is made for adult doll and toy collectors. So I'm doing something just a little bit different today. I usually don't do stuff like this, but I was like, why not? Kind of think it would be a little interesting and fun to do. So today we are talking about things I hate about Monster High G3. Just a disclaimer, these are my opinions and they might differ greatly from yours. So, it's okay if you do not agree with me. Everyone has their own opinion and they are entitled to it. So, before we get into this video, if you're watching this and you have no idea what Monster High is, hi, welcome to, I guess, the Monster High community. I don't know, but honestly, if you don't know what Monster High is, I don't know why you clicked on this video, but I'll break it down for you. Simple and sweet. Monster High came out in 2010, and the first generation of Monster High is commonly referred to as G1 or Generation 1. It pretty much revolved around the students, descendants, whatever, of legendary monsters like Dracula, Wolfman, the Mummy, so on and so forth, attending a high school called Monster High. The Monster High line ended up being super successful for Mattel, making $500 million in sales and at one point becoming the second best selling toy line in the US. Then around, I think, 2016, something around there, sales started to decline and parents or non-parents actually started to complain, saying that the line was too dark, the characters were dressed too provocative. Mattel had to go in and revamp the line. The revamp is commonly referred to as Generation 2 or G2, and it failed miserably. And it is not hard to see why it did. But because it did fail, Mattel decided to just go ahead and discontinue the line altogether. Enter Generation 3 or G3 of Monster High. Now, Wikipedia says that G3 was released in 2020. However, I did a quick Instagram search on my Instagram page and saw that I discovered the dolls 2 weeks early in 2022. So I believe they hit store shelves in 2022, not 2020. With the reintroduction of Monster High, there were, of course, dolls to tie in with it. A TV series on Nickelodeon, which quite honestly, in my opinion, Mattel should have never went ahead and did this TV series on Nickelodeon. Let's be honest, not a lot of people have cable. And if they do have cable, they have just the very basic channels like news and like PBS, stuff like that. I don't know, very basic channels. Okay. A lot of people nowadays have what is called streaming: Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Paramount, Peacock. The list goes on. Honestly, somebody just needs to come out with a streaming service that combines all of these in one and just do one easy yearly down payment. Please, because I cannot keep up with all the different streaming services. Now, unfortunately, the show has been canceled. There's a lot of rumors as to why it was canceled. One of the reasons I think it was canceled is because it was on Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon should just be renamed to the SpongeBob SquarePants Network because that's all they ever want to show. There were also 2 live action movies released. Again, they were released on Nickelodeon and then later released on Paramount, I believe, and then later released on DVD. The third one has unfortunately rumored to be canceled. Again, there's issues with Nickelodeon. But Generation 3 of Monster High is doing amazing in some ways. There's a lot of positives to the line. A lot of people love the line. Okay, now that you have had a very basic rundown of what Monster High is, the different generations, and all of that fun stuff, let's get into the actual reason why we are here for the video. Reasons why I don't like Monster High G3. Once again, these are my opinions, and it is completely okay if you do not agree with me. Also, none of these are going to be in any particular order. First up, we have Claudine and her glasses. So, when Claudine's core doll was released, it had glasses, and many releases following her core doll release had glasses. Not to mention, her character in the cartoon has glasses, even in her werewolf form. Her eyesight is so terrible, she needs glasses. Like I said, many releases of her doll have come with her wearing glasses. Even her casket ball doll, which, if you don't know what casket ball is, that is the monster version of basketball. But even that doll had a pair of sport glasses because she can't see without her glasses. But why have so many other dolls come out without her glasses? For example, Monster Ball, a lot of the Skulltimate Secrets Claudines, Buried Secrets, her glasses are missing. Like, was she going to the Monster Ball blind? And nowhere in any of the G3 media that I could find or anything like that has she been known to wear contacts. So I know this is something like small, but it is something that has bothered me since the release of G3 Monster High and new releases of her dolls coming out. Like, where are her glasses? Like, how are you going to make a character who needs glasses because she cannot see without her glasses? She is basically Velma from Scooby-Doo. Where are my glasses? I can't find my glasses. I can't see without my glasses. Her releases of dolls don't come with glasses. Like, why even make a character who needs glasses to see if you don't include those glasses with that character? And one thing that really bothers me is the Buried Secrets Wave 2 Toralei doll comes with a pair of glasses. And it states on her box, while she doesn't need glasses to see, she likes them because they're a fun fashion statement. Meanwhile, the character who needs the glasses to see, Claudine, does not come with glasses. Number 2, 3 different articulated bodies. When the dolls first hit toy shelves, they had very articulated bodies with articulation in the neck, the chest, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrist, the hips, and the knee. And the boy Monster High dolls came with articulation in the ankles instead of the chest. Great articulation for dolls, in my opinion. Then we had the release of the budget or budget day out dolls. These dolls had basically the same articulation as the core release dolls, just they did not have chest articulation. Okay, no problem. That's not a, big deal to me. But then we get the Buried Secrets line. And this is supposed to also be a budget line. And the articulation for these is just your very basic run-of-the-mill articulation with articulation in the neck, the shoulder, the wrist, and just the very slight articulation in the hip. There is no chest, there is no elbow, there is no knee. Now, the budget day out dolls are usually $17. Okay. You can find these dolls at grocery stores. Like, I find them here at Kroger. You can find them at Meijer. They're at Macy's. You can also find them on Amazon. I have yet to see them in Target or Walmart. The Buried Secrets dolls are usually about $14. For just a couple dollars more, I'm going to get the day out dolls that have the added articulation and are not a mystery gimmick where you don't know which one you're going to get. Now, with these 3 lines, Mattel went ahead and made 3 different bodies. And in my opinion, I feel like that is a waste of money. Like, why not just, scrap the day out slash budget dolls, revamp them into the Buried Secrets line? That way you still have the fun articulation and you can still have the annoying, stupid gimmick of, the mystery aspect. This next one is a big one for me. And I feel like there are a lot of people in the doll community that could possibly agree with me. And that is polypropylene hair, also commonly referred to as poly hair. So if you are new here and you do not know what poly hair is, I will go ahead and break it down for you. I have to read off of my notes because I can't memorize this. And I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen too for you guys. But it says polypropylene hair is a plastic polymer used for various applications, including doll hair. It is a lightweight hair that many say is flexible, which basically means that it can be styled many different ways and it holds a curl a lot better. It is also a non-porous hair fiber, which means unlike nylon and stuff like that, it cannot be dyed. And a lot of people who do doll customization love to dye doll hair, especially rainbow high dolls. So that doesn't sound too bad, right? Like it can hold a curl better, stuff like that. Doesn't sound bad. However, as you can see in this Tumblr video from Fire Spirited, poly hair can actually disintegrate over time. Like it'll just break off with the slightest touch, the slightest brushing. It doesn't matter. It's going to disintegrate. And one toy line that you can really see this in is the My Little Pony toys that came out, I believe, in like the early 2000s. Like the hair is gone. It's non-existent. All that's left is some tinsel. And it's really sad to see. And yes, while toys are made for kids, what do kids love to do with their dolls? They love to do hair play. Hair play is great on dolls. It helps a kid work their hands and fingers. It can even potentially, a kid's gonna probably find out that they love to style hair, and we're gonna have like a new hairstylist in the future. I think hair play on dolls is great. However, hair play on poly hair is terrible because this is what happens when a child does hair play on a doll with poly hair. It becomes a frizzy, tangled mess. And in the end, once it gets like that, in my experience, having to fix numerous dolls that my daughter has played with and hairstyled with, and they have poly hair, there is sadly no way in saving it when it gets into a tangled, frizzy mess. Yes, you can reroute the dolls if they come with poly hair. You can reroute them, but I shouldn't have to reroute my dolls. I really shouldn't have to. So, why does Mattel use poly hair? They use poly hair because poly hair comes in many different shades that are great for the Monster High characters. And these shades you cannot find in saran or nylon, which, okay, I get it. I understand why you want to use your stupid poly hair. I get it because it comes in many different shades. But another reason that I think they use poly hair is because it costs less than saran and nylon. And a lot of people believe that Mattel actually produces their own hair for dolls, and they actually do not. They actually work closely with designers and stuff like that who produce doll hair to figure out which is going to look great for dolls, I guess. But honestly, you designers out there who are working closely with Mattel to come up with the best hair solution, don't recommend poly. Please don't recommend poly. Yeah, I don't like that Monster High G3 uses poly hair because, like I said, it can disintegrate over time. So I get a doll with poly hair. I might not style it. I might not do anything with it. I might not dry brush it to where it become a poofy mess. But over time, my doll that I take out of the box that I will not mess with or do anything with that has poly hair, my doll's going to be bald in about, 10 to 20 years that I paid good money on. And I think if Mattel wants to use poly hair for Monster High G3 dolls or even their Barbie dolls, I think they need to save it for budget lines like the Buried Secrets line. Save it for those dolls. Do not release a G1 doll, Abby Bonnable, for example, with poly hair, because I believe her first release way back in the day had Conneclon, and Conneclon is not used anymore, but you could have used nylon. Could have used something, because at this point G1 dolls are basically like a collectible, and how dare you release a G1 doll with poly hair? Also, the Barbie You Create kits on Mattel Creations that are about $100, the wigs use poly hair. How dare you use poly hair with a $100 kit, Mattel? Please. No more poly hair unless you are going to use it for budget based lines. Thank you. Next, we have UV printing. So, UV printing has actually become a norm in doll and toy lines. It is just an easier way to put the face printing on a doll. And you know what? I think in some instances, a company can use the whole UV printing thing beautifully. Moose Toys, for example, with their Magic Mixies Pixlings dolls, they use UV printing and they are absolutely gorgeous. It looks like somebody did a one of a kind type of doll drawing on the face. It is beautiful. But then, some companies just can't seem to get the UV printing right. Now, when Monster High G3 was first released, they did not use this method. I don't know how they put the faces on the dolls. It's like a process. And with that process, yes, there was wonk, there was some misprinting. But you know what there wasn't? There was no shine and there was no pixelation. You can see a lot of this pixelation on the Playline Barbie dolls. To me, the pixelation and the shine looks cheap almost, and it looks uncanny. Like, I don't like it. It looks so weird. It looks like a computer character that just came out into the real world and their face and everything is still pixelated. Almost like a Minecraft character. I don't know how to explain it. The pixelation doesn't sit right with me. With the new release of the Buried Secrets Wave 2, Monster High G3 has fallen victim to the UV printing. And this UV printing does not look good. The faces are shiny, the faces are pixelated. I understand why they went the route of the UV printing, because they have the freckles across the nose. They kind of have like the ombre type lips going on, which when you do something like that, UV printing is great. But if it's used correctly and nicely done, and these just don't look like they've been nicely done. It looks like they were just a rushed process to hit the shelves to make money. And a lot of us Monster High collectors are a little worried that if this new wave of Buried Secrets has fallen victim to bad UV printing, are the other dolls that are set to release going to also be falling victim to that? Next, we have legendary monsters. So when Monster High first hit the shelves in 2010, like I said, the characters were the descendants of legendary monsters like Dracula, the Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster, the Mummy, and the creature from the Black Lagoon, just to name a few. This concept I thought was just so cool. As somebody who grew up loving the old black and white monster, Universal monster movies, I thought this was so cool. I was like, this is so imaginative, and I felt there was so many storylines you could take with this aspect. But then over time, it's kind of like Mattel forgot that that's what Monster High was originally with the characters. And like Laguna was originally the daughter of the creature from the Black Lagoon, Gilman. Later on, she ended up not being like that when the movies came out, like Great Scary Reef. She was something completely different, which, okay, whatever. But it still bothered me that you first launched this series with that concept and then over the years kind of forgot that concept. And with the introduction of Generation 3, they completely scrapped that concept altogether. And I'm a little sad about it because, like I said, I actually truly loved that concept that Mattel did. I was like, wow, that's so unique. That's so fun. And now it's gone. And most likely never coming back. Next, we have the fact that we will most likely never get a human version doll of Claudine Wolf. If you didn't know, in the Generation 3 universe, Claudine is half werewolf, half human. And we do see her human form quite a bit in the TV show. And if these dolls that come out are supposed to be tying in with the TV show, I want a human version doll of Claudine Wolf. I think that would be so cool. Like, and then, you could maybe even do a line where Draculaura, who is a practicing witch, somehow makes all the ghouls into human counterparts of their monster form or whatever. I think that would be really cool. Cool line, my opinion. I know, and probably nobody else will think that's cool, and Mattel will probably never do it, but yeah, I don't like the fact that they literally harped on it so much in the TV show and the live action movies that Claudine is half human, half werewolf, and we have yet to get a human form of her in doll form. Yeah, this one also has to do with Claudine. I feel like a lot of these have to do with Claudine, which sucks because I absolutely love Claudine. But Mattel has this thing with Claudine and moons. I get it. I get it. She is a werewolf, and the moon is a big aspect of her being a werewolf. I get it. I think we all collectively get it. But just about every one of her dolls has some kind of moon theme in it, whether that be a necklace, a shirt with the phases of the moon, a purse with a moon on it, earrings, pants, shoes. I'm kind of over it. Yes, the same can be said for Frankie and all of their lightning bolt motifs that they have on their clothes. I want to see more bolts and nuts, like Tool-esque type stuff for Frankie. Same goes for Draculaura. I'm over the bat wings. I want to see more Victorian-esque type stuff for Draculaura, like more cameo type pendants, more lace, more roses. No more bats and bat's wings, please. We get it. She's a vampire. Now, with Claudine, what I would like to see is like more constellation esque stuff. Like, I think we have one shirt of hers from her Budget Day Out doll where it had stars, like constellation type stars on it. I would love to see that type of stuff for Claudine, like maybe more galaxy print esque type of stuff. Gosh, just go ahead and make her obsessed with astrology and space. At this point, I'm just over the moons. Please, no more moon esque type stuff, please. I might be in the minority when it comes to this, but I truly hate these Sculptment secret lockers. They're just big hunks of plastic that is not needed. Yes, I know you can hang them on your wall, but realistically, one only has so much wall space. Also, yes, I know you can repurpose them. Repurposing ideas only go so far. I know you can use them to hold makeup, or like what this person did with making them a nacho tray. But honestly, no matter how many times you release these Ultimate Secret dolls, and no matter how many times you revamp the lockers, I am never going to like them. I think when we've got the first release of Ultimate Secrets, I loved it. I thought it was so cool, so unique. Now we are on Ultimate Secrets Series 6, and I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, no more, please. And realistically, while Mattel might not bank on people buying the whole Ultimate Secrets set, let's just be realistic here for a minute and know that many parents will buy the whole set for their child, because there are kids out there who want the whole set and their parents will give them the whole set. There are also doll collectors out there who want the whole set and will buy the whole set. That's just the way life works. I used to do that. Now I just go for the ones that I truly, really love. I know the whole locker aspect is a fun gimmick for kids where they unlock it with a key and they find all the little hidden things in the locker compartments. I get it. But once that gimmick is over, what do you have left? A big hunk of plastic. I really think Ultimate Secrets should go the way of Buried Secrets, where these lockers are now a slender thing of cardboard and the little mystery packs are in with that, kind of like how Buried Secrets is. Buried Secrets is like a budget version of Ultimate Secrets, if you ask me, if I had to compare the two. Or Mattel, if you still want to go the route of having a plastic locker, can we just make it to where they are more slender? More like space saving efficient something, because the big hunks of plastic need to go. And the last one is retail stores and Mattel. I don't know about you, but I am getting quite tired of seeing the same characters over and over and over again. Yes, Frankie is my favorite. Claudine is my favorite. But I am tired of seeing them constantly. And don't even get me started on Jocular. Don't even get me started on Jocular. But unfortunately, this actually might be the new norm, because retail stores have told Mattel that they don't want new characters. They want these same characters over and over again. And Mattel is just like, okay, no, Mattel, you are a big corporation. You got lots of money. Like, you need to stand up to these retail stores and say, no, I think new characters would be great, because you know what? New characters are great, because if you are a toy line and you continuously release the same characters over and over again, doesn't matter if you give them new clothes or new makeup, it is still the same character. And over time, that is going to become very stale. So I think new characters sprinkled in here and there is the way to go. It can help keep the line fresh and keep people coming back for more. I think the issue that retail stores have is Amazon gets the items first, I guess, in a way, because the amount of times that I have seen the dolls hit Amazon first before any retail store is ridiculous. Case in point, the brand new Ultimate Secrets. They have been listed on Amazon for quite some time before any retail store. So what happens? Collectors, parents are going to go to Amazon so they can get that item right away instead of waiting. So when retail stores get the item finally on shelves, it ends up sitting because people have already gone and bought the item off of Amazon. Retail stores rely on almost like a chain effect in a way, if that makes any sense. So you first have to rely on the truck to come and deliver the product to you. Then you have to rely on somebody to unload the truck. Then you have to rely on the person who works in said department to come and gather the items, open the boxes, and put them on the shelf. It's not like Amazon really, where it's a warehouse and they just go and they pull it off the shelf and ship it to you. I really don't know how Amazon works, but I feel like in my mind, that's how it works. So I feel like retail stores are just upset that new characters end up sitting on the shelf. They become shelf warmers until they have to clearance them out. When really, I feel like the monster here is Amazon, even though I also kind of love Amazon. It's like a double edged sword. And there you go. There are just some of the reasons why I hate Monster High G3. I could go on. There are plenty more, but that video would be way too long. I don't want to do that to you guys. And like I have said numerous times in this video, and you're probably tired of hearing it, it is okay if you do not agree with me. It is okay if you have different opinions than I do. And yes, I know the main consumer of Monster High G3 is children. Yes, I know. I hear it all the time as an adult doll collector. The products are made for kids. You really shouldn't be complaining. This and that. But let me tell you something. Kids deserve good quality toys to play with too. They deserve good toys, good quality, non disintegrating hair just as much as collectors do. But like always, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you agree with any of these? What are some things that you yourself might dislike about Monster High? Go ahead and put it down in the comments. And don't worry, I don't full on hate Monster High G3. There is a lot of stuff that I actually love about the line. And don't worry, I will be making a video on all the things that I love about Monster High G3. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as it does help me and this channel out. I hate saying that, but a lot of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. I sound like every other YouTuber when I say that, but like, why is that a thing? I don't get it. You don't want to subscribe? You don't got to subscribe, I guess. But like, it would help me out and it would help this channel out because I absolutely love doing this and making content for you guys. Even if some people say I am just completely cringy. You know what? I embrace the cringe. I love the cringe. That is who I am as a person. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.